So, kanina 'di ba na-discuss ni Kyle yung pagkuha ng area or finding the area of different sheets like, triangle, square, rectangle, and trapezium. Now, we will, proceed to introduction to volume. So, ano nga ba yung volume? Volume is the content of the body or object. Like, for example, a block. A block has a certain length, width, and height. With this data, the volume of the block can be calculated using the formula. So, di ba kanina, na-discuss ni Kyle yung area. So, sa area, di ba, dalawa lang hinahanap natin, which is yung base and height. Ngayon naman, nanagdagan siya ng width. And yung length niya is equivalent of base na nga. So, kanina 'di ba ang hinahanap lang natin is yung haba, yung taas. Ngayon naman, also hinahanap na rin natin yung lapad. So, in calculating or in calculating the volume, these are the formula in finding it. So, V or block is equivalent or is equal to length times width times height. So, by finding the height, length, and width, we will able to calculate the volume. Unit of volume. The basic unit of volume in metric system is cubic meter, which is obtained by multiplying length of 1 meter by a width of 1 meter and a height of 1 meter. Ay, cubic meter kasi 3 sides yung hinahanap. Ay, eto. Etong side na 'to, etong side na 'to, ay siyempre yung side na 'to. Unit of volume, tulad nga nung sinabi ko kanina, when finding, the volume ang equivalent niya or units niya is cubic meter. Isusunod dito sa, image na 'to. Yung one height niya sa taas, yung length niya sa haba, and yung width niya sa kapal. So, ano ang equivalent ng 1 cubic meter sa different, area, 'di ba? Ang 1 cubic meter is equivalent to 1,000 cubic diameter. And pag kinonvert naman natin yun, 1,000,000 cubic centimeters, so and so on. So ngayon naman, dadako na tayo sa kung paano ginagamit yung volume sa field or yung pagkuha ng volume of water on a field. Suppose a 1 liter is bottled filled with water. The volume of water is 1 liter or 1 cubic meter. When a bottle of water is emptied on the table, the water will spread out the table and form a thin layer. The amount of water on the table is the same as the amount of water that was in the bottle. So, kumbaga, yung volume ng water na ilalagay natin sa film is hindi porket kung gaano kataas yung water na meron sa isang bottle, gano'n na rin kataas yung mag-i-spread sa field. Kumbaga, kung ilan lang yung, dami o ilan lang yung volume or ilan lang yung liter ng water, yun lang yung mag-i-spread throughout the field. Tulad nga nitong example na 'to, the volume of water remains the same, only the shape of the water body changes. Kumbaga 'di ba, sa isang bottle, punong-puno yun ng 1 liter of water and kapag binuhos na natin yun sa table siyempre mag-i-spread yun and hindi na siya tulad ng shape na kung saan nakalagay sa bottle. So, ngayon naman, nanakon tayo kung ano ba yung formula na ginagamit of finding the volume of the water na ginagamit sa irrigation or on spreading in irrigation. Sabi nga dito, a similar process happens if you spread irrigation water from a storage reservoir over a farmer's field. Ito naman natin dito sa input na may dalawa tayong object. Yung una is yung sa, siyempre, yung sa volume na may diameter, I mean, may tatlong area, which is yung, height, length, and width. And yung naman sa kanila is yung base time height lang or base times yung haba. So, una, siyempre, bago natin malaman yung volume na ilalagay natin sa area, kailangan muna natin kung malaman or ma-identify yung, depth or yung kumbaga diameter kung ilan ba, kung gaano kadami ba yung malalagay sa area. So, volume of the water on the field. So, ito yung ano, ito yung formula on finding out the water depth o yung lalim ng tubig kapag na-spread out na yung water na meron tayo. So, sabi nito, volume water is divided into surface of the field. O, umaga, ito yung formula ng in finding out. Now, yun. As a first step, the volume of water must be calculated, and the volume of the field reservoir calculated and with formula. So, syempre, sabi ko nga kanina, dalawang part yun. Kumbaga sa una, we will calculate the volume or yung lawak ng field na kagaanuhan ng water. Or kung gaano ba taas yung or gaano ba kadami yung malalagay sa field na yun. So, nakalagay dito, length times width times height. So, yun nga kanina, di ba? Naturo na natin yun. So, ang given natin dito is yung 5, yung length. Sa width naman niya is n and yung sa height niya is 2 meters. So, if we will calculate it 5 times n times 2, ang makukuha natin ng answer is 100 cubic meter. So, yun na yung value ng volume natin. So, now, we will proceed to the surface of how we found or how we will calculate the surface of the field or yung area ng field na yan, which is na-calculate na natin or naturo na ito ni Kyle. So, ayan. As the second step, the thickness of the water layer is calculated using this formula. So, kanina, di ba, ang ito yung area natin kung saan, di ba, nakalagay dito yung 10,000 square meter. So, ito na yung given na siya. Dahil pinag-times lang naman yung 100 meter, 100 meter, which is 10,000 square meter. Ayan. Tulad nga ng sinabi mo kanina, after finding out the volume of the water and also looking for the surface or in the surface of the field, now we will able to find out the water depth of the field. So nakalagay dito, yun nga, volume of the water, surface of the air field, ano na siya. So, nakalagay dito sa example natin, di ba kanina, when unequally in a volume of water, nakakuha tayo ng 100 cubic meter. And also, in surface of a field or area ng field, nakuha natin yung 10,000 square meter. If we calculate it in the calculator, ang makukuha natin dyan is 0.1 meter or 10 millimeter. So, ang makukuha natin sagot dyan, a water layer is 1 or 10 millimeter thick spread over a field of 1 hectare. Calculate the volume of the water in cubic meter. So, di ba? Nalaman na natin na ang meron pala ay volume na 100 cubic meter and also field na 10,000 square meter, ang malalagay nating water layer doon is 10 millimeter thick or 0.01 meter. So yan, 1 millimeter water depth on a field of 1 hectare. The formula used is volume of water surface of the field times the water depth. Ngayon naman, malalaman natin kung gaano mag-i-spread yung sa water. So, dito makikita natin ang given natin kanina is yung 10,000 square meter and also the depth is 0.001 meter. So, dito malalaman natin kung gaano ba kadami dapat yung dapat ilagay dun sa field ng 1 hectare o kung gaano dapat the water ilalagay dun sa field of 1 hectare. So, dito solution. Formula nga natin is surface of the field multiplied sa water depth. So, ito na ngayon. Volume or lahat natin is cubic meter, 10,000 square meter times or multiply o 0.01 meter. So, ang volume or yung tubig na kailangan na isang hectare is 10,000 liters or 10 cubic meter. So, kung matotal, hindi pala ganun dali o how on calculating the water. Kasi di ba, usually naman, hindi naman laging kailangan calculating natin or alamin natin kung gaano ba kadami yung tubig. Kasi di ba, meron naman tayong irrigation kung saan nagkakaroon tayo ng um, tawag dun, uling-uli na ano sa tubig. And based on my experience naman, yung lolo ko kasi is a farmer. So, hindi naman na ina-calculate kung gaano ba kadami tubig, kumbaga tagsa-tagsa na lang dahil nga traditional siya. Sunod naman ngayon is yung flow rate. Kung kanina, nalaman natin kung gaano ba kadami yung tubig or kung paano calculate yung dami, yung, kung yung dami ay siyempre yung taas or kinakailangan ng isang 1 hectare. Ngayon naman, alamin natin kung gaano ba yung flow rate na kailangan natin in irrigation. The flow rate of a river or of a canal is the volume of water discharged through this river or this canal. During a given period of time related to irrigation, the volume of water is usually expressed in liters or cubic meters, and the time in seconds or hours. The flow rate is also called discharge rate. Kumbaga, yung sabi nga dito na yung flow rate nga, ito yung kung gaano kabilis yung transfer ng tubig dun sa irrigation or sa kanal. Kung saan nare-discharge siya through the entire field or the entire area nung mismong field natin or yung mismong farm. So, calculation and unit. The water running out of actions of one water in a second. Thus, the flow rate or Q is 1 liter per second. So, dito, dinemonstrate niya kung gaano katagal or um, kung ilang segundo ang pag-flow ng water sa isang 1 liter. So, flow rate of 1 liter per second. So, yun ay sa problem. So, ang problem dito is the water supply by a pump fills a drum of 200 liters in 20 seconds. So, paano nga ba natin siya makakalculate? So, what is the flow rate of this pump? So, ang formula natin is flow rate or Q, or ito yung ano niya, symbol niya or unit niya, Q. Flow rate is equal to volume of water or liters divided by time or second. So, dito meron tayong given na 200 liters and 20 seconds. By having that, makakalculate na natin kung ilan yung flow rate na meron tayo sa 200 liters and in 20 seconds. So, ito na nga yung given. So, 200 liters divided by 20 is 10 liters per second. So, umaga, na-figure out natin na 10 liter per second pala yung namimigay ng flow rate or namimigay ng tubig on ano siya, 200 liters ang meron tayo. So, the unit liter per second is commonly used for small flow. For example, a tap or a small ditch. For larger flow, or for example, the river or the main canal, the unit cubic meter per second is more convenient to use. Okay. Kumbaga dito sa sinasabi lang dito na ang ginagamit daw para sa mga small flow is liter per second. Pero 'pag malawakan na siya, cubic meter per second na kasi nga mas malaki na yung value na hinahanap natin. So, the river discharge, ngayon naman another problem. The river discharge 100 cubic meter of water to the sea every 2 seconds. What is the flow rate of this river expressed in cubic meter per second? So, meron tayong cubic meter na 100 also 2 seconds as our time. So, again, ang formula lang na gagamitin natin dito is yung U or the unit Q flow rate is equal to volume of water in cubic meter and also the time in seconds. So, volume of water natin is 100 cubic meter and our time is 2 seconds. So, bale, ang mangyayari dyan is 100 cubic meter divided by 2 seconds. So, bale ang makukuha nating flow rate niyan is 50 cubic meter per second. So, kumbaga, ito yung flow rate na meron tayo every second, 50 cubic meter per second. So, the discharge rate of the pump is often expressed in cubic meter per hour or in liters per minute. Okay. So, bale, dalawa pala yung formula possible na gamitin. Kapag ang naka-given ay minute, siyempre, yung minute yung gagamitin. Also, pag hour naman, hour lang din naman na yung ilalagay natin sa time nung pagkuha ng flow rate. So, umaga ito. 'di ba, flow rate is equal to volume of water in liters and also in time in minutes. So, kumbaga tulad nga ng sinabi ko kanina, small flow lang or small area lang ang ginagamit natin is liter and minutes. While on naman malaking area na or large area na ang ginagamit na natin is unit meter or hours na. Kasi sobrang tagal naman if halimbawa, kung temperature na gawin natin tapos ang area na is sobrang laki. Ngayon naman, nanakon ating adoption percentage. In relation to agriculture, the word percentage will be met regularly. For instance, 50% of the total area is irrigated during dry season. In this section, the meaning of the word percentage will be discussed. The word percentage means literally per hundred. In other words, 1% is the 100 part of the total. You can either write percent or percent or 1/100 or 0.01. So, siyempre, di ba, alam naman natin na ang kuha ng percentage is equivalent lagi ng over 100. So, basically, ang pagkuha lang ng percentage is per 100 or it depends on how kung gaano kadami yun. So, ito yung some example ng pagkuha ng percentage or equivalent ng percentage ng ilang percent. So, di ba, dito 5%, 5% o times 100 is n. Alam niyo naman yun, and 5 over 100. And pag dinivide na natin itong 5/100 or divide 100, ang mauunahin dyan is 0.05 and so on and so forth. Pero magkakaano lang naman yan pag halimbawa, may certain number na or certain, meron na sinasabing, dun, may hinahatan tayong certain percentage sa isang bagay. Halimbawa sa exam, 'di ba? Sa percentage na yun, hindi naman laging 100 items yung exam. So, kumbaga, nakadepende pa yun kung ilan yung items na tama natin sa mismong items ng final exam or total na exam. Halimbawa, ang items ng exam is 50 items and ang nakuha mo lang is 25 na correct answer. So, paano nga ba natin makukuha yung percentage na yun? Ang pinakamadali lang dun is siyempre, una, you will divide the 25 divided by 50 and after nun, ina-times na natin sa 100. So, by doing that, kukuha na natin kung ilan nga ba yung nakuha natin sa exam, by percentage. So, meron tayong question dito. How many oranges are in 1% of a total of 300 oranges? Unang nangyari in-example ko kanina yung about sa score sa exam. Ngayon malalaman natin kung ilan ba yung oranges if ang hinahanap natin is yung 1% lang niya in total of 300 oranges. Nakalagay dito 100 oranges. So, unang nga sinabi ko kanina, kung paano natin mahanap or kung paano maka-calculate yung percentage, we will just, kukunin yung hinahanap niyan, kunwari 1%, 1/1000 times 300. By doing that, makukuha natin ilan yung oranges ng total sa 1%. Introduction to graph. Ngayon naman dadako tayo sa kung paano alamin or kung paano natin hahanapin yung graph or paano natin isusulat or paano i-drawing yung isang graph. Ayan. A graph is a drawing in which relationship between two or more items of information. Example, time and land group is shown in symbolic way. To this end, two lines are drawn at a right angle. The horizontal one is called the x-axis and the vertical one is called the y-axis. Where the x-axis and the y-axis is intersect the 0 point or the 0 point is sa gitna nito. So dito, di ba, alam naman natin na nung elementary pa lang, inuuna natin kung paano nga ba mag-drawing or maglagay ng graph. Kasi 'di ba, by drawing graph malalaman natin kung ilan yung, growth ng isang bagay, kung malalaman natin yung progress ng isang bagay. Ulan lang nakalagay sa figure, eto nga yung sinabi ko na yung y-axis yung vertical, while the horizontal naman is yung x-axis. And nag-intersect sila sa gitna, which is yung 0. The plotting of the information na graph is discussed in the following example. Yun nga. Yun nga ay sa example number 1. Suppose it is necessary to make a graph of the growth rate of a corn plant. Each way, the height of the plant is measured. Sinasabi dito na, kailangan daw makagawa tayo ng graph para malaman natin yung growth rate ng isang corn plant. And every week daw, yung plant is kailangan natin ma-measure in height. 1 week after planting the seed, the plant measured 2 cm in height. 2 weeks after the planting, it measured 5 cm. And 3 weeks after the planting, the height is 10 cm. So, ito yung ilalagay sa graph or sa graph. Ito yung mga ipa-plot natin sa graph, which is yung OCM, which is yung unang 1 week after planting the seed. And sa pangalawang week naman, ICM, and also after 3 weeks, ano ay ng NCM. So, makikita natin dito sa figure na 'to, parang literal na mineasure na talaga nila yung growth rate ng isang plant. So, 'di ba nakita natin sa mismong ruler na after 1 week, 'di ba OCM, nakatapat siya sa OCM, and after 2 weeks sa 5 cm, and after 3 weeks naman sa 10 cm. So, paano nga ba natin 'to nilalagay sa mismong graph? Ayan. This result can be plotted on a graph. O tulad nga ng sinabi ko kanina, yung graph ay ginagamit natin para malaman natin yung progress sa isang land or isang bagay. Upang ma-identify natin kung nag-growth na siya ng tama or saktuhan lang. This result can be plotted on a graph that I'm in which will be indicated on the axis or and 2 or 2 cm on the axis and the first rate. The plant height and centimeters will be indicated on the y-axis. 1 cm on the axis represent 1 cm or 1 centimeter of the plant height. After 1 week, the height is 2 cm. This indicated on the graph with A. After 2 weeks, the height is 5 cm, and C, B, the after 3 weeks, the height is 10 cm in C. So measuring the zone 8 or outlining or the time 0, the height was 0, CV. Now connect the process with the straight line. The line indicates the growth rate of the plant. It is the height increase over time. Tulad nga na sinabi ko kanina, dun sa mismong 0, yun yung pinaka-start kung saan tayo maglalagay ng ipa-plot natin. And siyempre, hindi naman tayo agad-agad maglalagay ng dot sa mismong tapat ng 0 kasi wala pa namang agad-agad growth in that particular area or in that particular time. So ayun, makikita naman natin dito kung paano natin or kung paano nailagay yung growth ng isang, mais, 'di ba? Tulad nga ng sinabi kanina, etong D, etong pinaka-D na 'to, siyempre ito yung pag-i-start pa lang natin ng pagtatanim. Tapos etong y-axis or x-axis na 'to, 'di ba? Ito yung ito yung height natin and siyempre itong sa y-axis naman is yung time kung saan, nag-grow yung tanim or yung corn. Balikan lang natin kung tama nga ba yung nasasagot ko. Ah, balikan pala. So ayun, etong palang height na 'to, ito yung y-axis natin. And then kung times natin na meron tayo, and it's our x-axis. Una nagpapa-plant diyan, 'di ba? Sa unang araw siyempre wala pa namang growth yung seed. And after 1 week nagkaroon na siya ng progress which is naging ano nga siya 2 cm. And after 2 weeks, naging mataas ulit siya, naging 5 cm. And after 3 weeks ng growth niya, naging 10 cm na siya. So dito, or usually naman, hindi naman talaga drawing talaga yung mismong image ng plant. Ang talagang makita lang natin dito is mismong dot or yung mga na kung saan dun nilalagay yung growth ng isang pananim. It can be seen from graph that is growing faster and faster. During the earthquake, OCM, during the earthquake IPM. The line from B to C is steeper than the line from B to A. Kumbaga, mas umaas nga yung growth nung B to C and also, siyempre, maliit pa lang naman yung progress from B to A. Ayan, una niyang sinabi ko kanina na hindi, in actual plotting the growth in a graph, hindi talaga it doesn't need a drawing. It just needs a particular, sign or object that can identify the growth of um, the plant. In this graph, we can see na wala na yung drawing kanina. And ang lang na dito is yung cross out, which is nag-signify or nag-symbolize lang ng growth ng isang corn plant. O dito, ano, di ba, nakatapat naman dito sa y-axis yung sa yung OCM kung saan no after 1 week ng tinanim yung corn plant. And after siyempre nung 2 weeks, siyempre ay centimeter naman yung growth na nangyari sa kanya after 2 weeks. And after siyempre ng ending, ang makikita naman natin dito is yung 10 centimeter. So, kumbaga in reality naman, medyo basic lang naman 'to kung susumahin basta meron tayong data or meron tayong given like of that in every, x-axis and y-axis na meron tayo. But also, kailangan nating maging cautious kasi may pattern 'yan. Hindi porket, ang nakalagay lang sa given is 2, 5, 10, yun lang ilalagay natin. Kailangan pa rin natin ilagay or kailangan pa rin natin i-consider yung pattern ng um, paglago ng isang land. Ay, 'di ba tulad nga nung nakalagay dito 1, 2, 4 agad, wala yung 3. So, kailangan natin maging cautious about it. Pero if we want to be ano naman, kung gusto naman natin maging mas, um, detailed yung gawa natin, kailangan natin mag-back off pa ng isa, which is maglalagay tayo ng 3 dito and saka pa ng 4 para malaman natin na sa week 3 is walang nangyaring progress, which is yun nga, umangat lang siya. From the graph can be read what the height of the plant was after, say 2002 and 2.5 weeks. See the dotted line, locate the horizontal axis 2.5 weeks and follow the dotted line upward until the dotted line crosses the graph. From the crossing, follow the dotted line to the left until the vertical axis is reached. Now take the reading 7.5 centimeters, which means the plant had height of 2 and of 7.5 centimeters after 2.5 weeks. This height has not been measured to reality, but the height can be determined anyway. So the question is, what was the height of the plant after 1.5 weeks? So di ba sabi nga dito, after 1.5 weeks, meron na tayong and after 2.5 weeks, meron na tayong 7.5 centimeters. So, ang tanong dito, ano nga ba yung height niya bago after nung 2.5 weeks, so 1.5 weeks pa lang. So, if dito tayo magbe-base, 'di ba, ang 7.5 natin is eto, and siyempre 2.5 weeks. So, ang gagawin lang natin is just 1.5 weeks. So, bale eto, etong gitna ng 1 and 2. So, 1.5 weeks na 'to. And also, para ma-figure out natin kung ilan yung tinaas niya, kailangan normal na natin yung hanapin. So, kung halimbawa is sa kalahati na 'to, siyempre hanapin din natin yung kalahati kung saan nagtagpo yung 2 and 5. So, ano nga ba kalahati ng 2 and 5, which is 3.5. So, eto yun, dito. Kaya ilang drawing. para mas ano niyo, mas ma-visualize niyo. 'Di ba, sabi dito, 1 ay no. 1 1/2. So, sa araw na meron tayo ayan, ayan, and also sabi dito, eto yung for yung di napantayagan, 'yan. For example lang naman 'yan. So, sabi dun sa instruction 'di ba kailangan nating connect yung dot. So, from 0 week to 1 1/2 week and after 1 1/2 week nagkaroon tayo ng eto, ayan. Kung bale ganyan yung example ng graph natin. Sorry agad kung hindi masyadong maganda yung paggawa ko. Pero hindi ko natin makita yung growth niya mismo from 1 1/2 week to 2 1/2 week. Yan, back na tayo. So, next naman is another example. Another example illustrates how a graph can be made is variation of temperature over multiple days. Suppose the outside temperature is measured always in the same, whether thermometer every 2 hours starting at midnight and ending the following midnight. So, 'di ba sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina, hindi lang maging cautious tayo kung sa paglagay ng unit sa y-axis and x-axis dahil nga dito, una dito ang hinahanap dito yung temperature and also kung ilan yung tinaas yung temperature in every time na meron tayo. So, ayan. Ito yung resulta na meron tayo dito. Sa kabilang side is yung time and siyempre sa temperature na meron tayo. So, paano nga yun i-graph? Yeah. Ang una ng illustration na 'to, 'di ba, makikita natin dito na medyo magulo siya pero eto yung tamang unplan ng isang graph. Ayan o, graph showing temperature over 24 hours. Kasi 'di ba sabi nga dito, kailangan nating malaman yung progress or yung pagbabago ng temperature in a whole day or 24 hours. It's supposed to every hours daw kailangan natin siyang Um, if not, so tulad nga ng nakalagay dito sa resulta natin, pumorsigit o yung oras or yung interval. It is the interval of hours and it temperature nung nung every 2 hours na nangyayari. So, ang ilalata natin siya, ito yung magiging result niya. Dito, mas ulit tayo. Ayan. 'Di ba, sa unang ano daw, nung nag-restart pa lang yung oras siyempre meron ng temperature na 15 degrees Celsius and after 2 hours bumaba siya ng ilan, balikan natin, bumaba siya ng 6 degrees Celsius. So, 'yan. Tama ba? Ba't mali nakalagay? Okey. Mali pala ako, basta bumaba siya ng 2 degrees Celsius and after 2 hours ulit, siyempre bumaba ulit siya, 'yan, oh, pumasok ulit siya, 'yun. So, makikita naman natin na parang tayo nagko-connect the dots. Ang importansya lang naman nito is, we will able to find out the progress of something or yung mga bagay-bagay na, gusto nating malaman, ayan. 'Di ba makikita natin yung pagbabago-bago niya every 2 hours, ayan. And sabi na dito, graph helps us to see the big picture. For example, nilagyan lang natin yung I'm, walang yan ang sinabi ko kanina, yun. At ang pinupundok-pundok natin ng mga data, mapapansin natin yung curve. Hindi siya diretso, hindi rin siya pag-end ang laki dahil ginawa natin ma-figure out yung progress sa isang halaman. Yan. Ay, yan. Ayan. On the x-axis indicate the time in hours whereby 1 PM on the ground is 2 hours. On the y-axis indicate the temperature. So sabi dito, graph showing on the temperature over 24 hours. Mistake in this in our reading. Whereby 1 PM on the ground is 5 degrees Celsius. Now indicate this process the values from the table above on the graph paper and connect the process with baseline. Ayan. Kasi daw, 'di ba, kumbaga nagkaroon pala tayo ng pagkakamali dito. Kumbaga, hindi pala certain yung sa ano kanina, temperature na meron tayo or result ng temperature natin. Ayan. So, para may tama yun, we will just connect the from 2 PM to 6 PM. Kasi 14 sa pag inanvert natin siya sa pinaka-oras, 2 PM pa lang yun and also sa after 4 hours. Ayan. Graph showing when temperature over for estimated correction of the mistake. In reality now, the temperature will change more gradually than indicated by the dotted line. That is why a smooth curve is named continuous line. The smooth curve represents the most realistic approximation of the temperature over 24 hours. From the graph, it can be seen the minimum or lowest temperature was reached around 4 o'clock in the morning, and that was 6 degrees Celsius. The highest temperature was reached at 4 o'clock in the afternoon was approximately 20 degrees Celsius. Kumbaga, kanina 'di ba, napansin natin sa graph na medyo may tayo, medyo unusual na temperature kasi 'di ba, ang bumaba ng sobra yung temperature may problema na nung oras na yun. So, para matama yun siyempre sobrang observe naman kung halimbawa, ganun yung temperature na meron tayo. So, kailangan i-figure out natin kung ano ba talaga yung taktong temperature during those time. Kasi 'di ba, sabi nga dito sa, content nito kailangan daw, smooth yung curve na meron tayo sa graph na yun. So, yan. What was the temperature at 7 PM, 3 PM, and 11 PM? Ay, sorry, 7 AM after 7 hours. And only your smooth term rotate the roof. Rotate the roof. So, ano yung ibang drawing dito? Na graph. Ayan, ito yung y axis, ito yung x axis. Ay, axis, x axis. Ay, mali. Ayan. So, di ba, ang meron tayo is every 2 hours. 1, 2, 9, 9, 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Kung di pa naman tayo, syempre, 24 hours. 1, 2, 7, 11, 11, 13, 14. Ayan. For example lang naman yan. So, ang F for natin is, ay, tama, N. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, ito yung N. So, ito yung N. At ano na yung 10 hours. which is NO, kasi NO eh. Okay. O, or, which is, common, ayan. So, mag-erase tayo. Yan. After that, our 25, 29, 29, 29, 29 figure. So, imagine lang natin na April 29 and also sa gitna siya ng and 12, 14, so dito. And after, when we our 17 units, so, iyan lang natin, o yan, o yun, na yan. So, yan. So, complete na tayo ngayon ng graph. Yan. So, yun, di ba? Nakita naman na ganun po yung magiging score, pero hindi siyempre, it is really hard for me to draw a straight line if I'm just using the mouse. So, it, bear with me. Bear with my drawing. So, ito yung drop na meron tayo, or drop na namuuna, and in this particular event, or finding. So, yun. Yun lamang po at maraming salamat.